Hi, some thoughts for today, the fourth Sunday in Trinity. More radical and dangerous words from Jesus. Only 3 of them, but very subversive. The Pharisees and the doctors of the law, on hearing these 3 words, must have thought that Jesus had lost the plot. How can he say such words to the crowd? Doesn't he know that some will be unclean, being outside the law? He cannot possibly just say, "Come to me." That is all wrong. He cannot be allowed to say such things and get away with it. The words would have been extraordinary for the people to hear. Normally, they would have been reminded of their unworthiness, the fact that they were unclean, not keeping to the full observance of the law and living by the hundreds of rules and regulations. So to hear those 3 little words would have been very different and quite new. Come to me, says Jesus. Come to me if you are weary and overburdened. Come to me. Come to me. The people would have been used to the authorities laying heavy burdens upon their shoulders as well as their hearts and souls, and would not have lifted a finger to help them carry their burdens. In the days of the early church, there was a huge row about how the Gentile followers of Jesus should be accepted. This is a massive moment in the church's life. But Peter in Acts 15 says, God makes no distinction between us and them. So why are you placing burdens on them that even we ourselves and our ancestors have not been able to bear? Solid, sensible realism from Peter. So here's this teacher saying, "Come to me," to anyone who would listen, regardless of their condition, who they were, or what they had done. Come to me. They did. He seemed to recognize their situation. He seemed to feel their pain and listen to their story. His gentleness drew them in, and his humility enabled them to open themselves up to him. Come to me. I will give you rest. Come to me. How long we long to hear those words sometimes. Come to me. I will give you rest. A rest from various burdens that we all carry, whether they be the pressures of work and trying to make ends meet, the tearful worry for family, the ups and downs of relationship, then those feelings of no self-worth, of disappointment, the worry of illness, particularly acute at the moment, or that emptiness of a loved one no longer there, no longer close. How we long to hear someone who stops to notice and recognize our heavy burdens, and instead of adding to our load, will help us to carry them. Over the last few weeks, we have been reminded of the 3rd anniversary of the tragedy of Grenfell Tower and those who died in that blaze. I can remember the pain, but also the anger of residents who felt the authorities were hiding away behind empty platitudes and statements about a necessary public inquiry that just seemed to make the situation worse. The residents seemed to cry, "Come to me, listen to me, be quiet and hear my story." The residents felt that there was no connection, no compassion, therefore no peace at all. How we all long for those words of Jesus and his gentleness. However, gentleness seems to be equated with weakness and timidity. If you want to get on, you have to be hard, because if you are gentle, people will walk all over you. Gentleness is not weakness, as St. Thomas de Sales wrote. Nothing is so strong as gentleness, nothing so gentle as real strength. Gandhi remarked, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." If Jesus had been this hard and cold person, he would have been preaching alone. His gentleness was his strength, his beauty, and his opportunity to change lives. Jesus shared their burdens, saying, "Come to me," a gentle invitation to travel in a new way. Henry Nouwen, the Dutch priest and writer, said, "A gentle person treads lightly, listens carefully, looks tenderly, and touches with reverence." Amongst all the heartache, the doubts and the fears, and despite any excuses we may have, the invitation is gently offered to us today. Come to me. If you are weary, come to me. Come to me. Keep well, keep safe, and God bless.